Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series here on twitch.tv/Rocket League. You're watching the European Regional Championships as, by the end of the day, we're going to be crowning the champion of the European region. We have one spot remaining for the World Championships. That's going to be decided in this next match. My name is Axel Toss here at the analyst desk, joined by Gibbs and Jamesbot. Guys, that first series, very close, but Mocket ending up coming out on top, taking out Gale Force, qualifying for LAN when it matters the most, coming out and playing extremely well. And here is a look at the bracket. Mocket 4-2 over Gale Force. They're going to advance in the bracket to play against Northern Gaming, qualifying for LAN. The next spot, either Flipside or Resonant, as you can see there in the bottom side of the bracket.
Can we just change the rules and bring 5 or 6 European teams?
I wish.
Because what a series that was from Gale Force, so close to beating Mocket, and everyone expected that both those teams would probably advance, but with the leftovers, a big surprise that pushed down those two teams to play each other, and what a series it was.
Yeah, that week 5 opportunity, had Gale Force beaten leftovers, it would have been a different story, but still, gotta congratulate Mocket. They made it into the top 4 with an incredibly challenging road.
And remember, single elimination, all best of 7s today. And if you want more information about the Rocket League Championship Series, look no further than RLCS.gg. You can also get your tickets there for the World Championships coming up June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But let's take a look at the rosters for this next match. We have the defending world champions, once again, Flipside Tactics, similar roster there, going up against Resonant, who they fell to in the last week of league play.
Cheer for your captains, guys. Marky Duder, and a lot. That's a 0. So I hope they win because that's more money for me from that 20%. But we got a lot and Marky Duder, but everyone is gunning for Flipside. That's why all these roster changes happen. They're the only team to be the same. And these are like the new kids on the block with Magnus and Mets really showing up.
Yeah, and Resonant is one of the 3 teams Flipside lost to in the last week of league play. The last match that we saw of the RLCS and of the regular season was this matchup, and it was Greasy who stepped up for Flipside, but the Mets-Magnus pair, those guys combined for just so many shots, so many goals, assists. They were on point, but can they do it when it matters the most?
You mentioned Greasy. We have some stats from him as well as from Magnus there on Resonant.
And these were the 2 stars of that last matchup. Magnus, 5 goals, 5 assists while playing against Flipside. He really performed really well, and he's going to have to do it again to beat Flipside here. Because again, Flipside didn't have much to play for, while Resonant had everything to play for. So a little bit of a different story now, which both of them have so much to play for here.
Yeah, and Greasy's just kind of been that guy, just doing whatever the team needs. Cooks, obviously, he scored, or he was the golden striker this season, barely edging it out. But Greasy has just been a key component to Flipside's success ever since Season 2.
Yeah, he was setting up passing plays for Marky, plus Cooks, all the way up until week 5 is when he's like, all right, guys, now I'll start scoring some goals here. And he's usually the quiet one, because usually when you're paired with Cooks here, plus Marky, it's like, you're going to be the quiet one just because those guys are so good. But he was on the old Northern Gaming squad that was so good. Then Flipside picked him up when Mike Rules left. So it was a very good pickup, obviously, world champions. But once again, so far we have no world champions from North America back to the land. Now we'll see with Flipside.
Yep, we're about to find out. Again, best of 7, single elimination. The winner of this match will go to the World Championships. Guys, predictions, what do you think?
I think it'll be a different story from the last game, because Flipside, when they don't care, they don't care. They just don't bother. I'm going to give this to Flipside. I think they can win it. But as we've seen, every lower seed so far has won in this round. So I wouldn't count out Resonant just yet, but I'm going to give it to Flip. I would say 5 games.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Gibbs. Flipside, we see them at their best when their back is to the wall. They've gone down into the lower bracket in the World Championships, both times very early, but when they're faced with elimination, they rise to the occasion. So I'm going to say Flipside will take this one, and I'm going to say 4-1 as well.
I have Flipside as well. Such a strong team. Resonant did take them out in the last week of league play, but as you said, not as much on the line there for Flipside. We've seen Flipside make ridiculous runs in bracket play. We'll see if they can do it today. Let us know what you think. Use the hashtag RLCS on Twitter. Let us know in the Twitch chat too if you can get through all the kerfuffle in there. But without any further ado, let's continue on with the European Regional Championships. It's Flipside Tactics, your defending world champions, going up against Resonant with the commentary. It's going to be Leaf and Final Carpet. Take it away, guys.
The legends themselves against a couple of newcomers. Who could it be? And well, yesterday we saw some legends drop out. Will that happen to Flipside too? Before we get into that, fun fact, I've been wearing my Batman boxers every Sunday because of Cooks here.
Do you actually do it every Sunday?
I would show you right now, but I can't.
That is more laundry than I've ever done. I would never do laundry once a week. That's too often.
It's tradition now at this point.
I suppose.
But, again, we have legends that haven't been performing as well as we would have expected them to. They're now fighting for a spot to even get into LAN for Season 3. Maybe we expect them to just be in there. Like, it's just supposed to happen, and it's not.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Leaf. I'm a little bit scared. The last time I sat here and watched Flipside, I was not happy. Just in general, it was not the Flipside we'd ever seen. I'd never seen Cooks here play poorly. Now, in their defense, it was a game that really didn't matter. Win or lose, they had third seed. So it really didn't matter to them going into this week. But at the same time, you probably don't want to set that kind of precedent. And especially since you know you're going against a team. If you lose against them, you're going to play against them again. So last time they matched up, Resonant had their number. They know they probably have the confidence, but Flipside was very weak. Greasy pretty much held them together. Will we see the same Flipside we saw 2 weeks ago, or will we see the Flipside that we're used to?
That's a great question, Carpet. And I'm sure we'll get you an answer after the series is done. Well, we definitely will. Game number 1, best of 7. Someone's going home. We saw one of those spots just filled recently by Mocket. This is the last LAN spot for EU. Well, for all of Season 3. Will it be Flipside or Resonant? Resonant. Again, as it is in EU, very close to all the rest of the competition. Flipside can't take this lightly as they try to get an early attack off the roof there. No early goal for Flipside. That'll be a way to start things and send a message. Confusion in the corner. Cooks here, smart, waits for that touch from Greasy before committing to anything. Magnus getting a little bit of bump on his own teammate Metz there. Talk about duos. Those are guys to watch out for. They know each other on the field, and if they get moving, could be a scary spot for Flipside. No one home right now. Magnus going to try to take advantage of that. Shot a little bit too weak and too high. Won't be going in the net. Markey will be able to save that one out. Shot of his own, almost dropped in by Greasy. I don't know if you had the foresight for that or just got lucky.
I think he was going for the dunk, or at least potentially redirect. Markey just hitting the post. The short passes from Flipside right now are on point.
Cooks here, off on his read there, but he will be upfield for a cherry pick. As long as Markey and Greasy don't get in each other's way, but they do a lot. Gonna capitalize on the mistake, put in the first goal of the series.
Not a great start for Flipside, but they are a team that we know tends to ramp into it. Well read on a lot. Just going for the dunk, most likely. Honestly, the angle he had is an 80% chance that's going towards net. If he's gonna try and hit it above a player, that's at the net at least. It was a good contest by him. Great shot.
Absolutely right. And they grab themselves the first goal a minute and a half into game number 1. Flipside, well, they like seeing themselves in really tough situations, running through lower brackets all throughout history. They're finding themselves in a tough situation now. Metz gonna follow this one along beautifully on that sideboard to grab another goal.
That was actually really well followed through. I like that from him, but no one from Flipside there to contest. If you're going to put yourself on defense, you need to ensure that the person going for the ball has no more touch. If they have one more touch, you do not want to go for it because you know there's a chance they can beat you unless you know you've got someone to help follow it up. Last man on net, you probably want to stay until you know you've got a touch.
2 goals up now, Resonant Esports in the first 2 minutes. A goal a minute, we'll see if that trend continues for them. Or Flipside's going to be able to bring back this series. Climb up those couple unanswered goals. Cooks giving away possession there. Markey wasn't ready for the pass up. This might be a chance though. He sends one on target, but that's going to be stopped. Defense pretty strong right now for Resonant. They quickly turn this one back down on the other end. Nice touch from Markey. Quickly booms that one right back to midfield. Cooks here, tries to find Markey. Slow lob. Won't be able to create a fast passing play. It'll give Resonant a lot of time to set themselves back up for a chance of their own on an offense. Magnus tries to find Metz. Cooks will be there to intercept. Greasy just taking a player out of the play. Watt will get back in time to get into net. Sits deep, expecting a shot from Greasy. It won't come out. Cooks here, the only one on offense. Will miss a read. Gets a boost at least, but it'll be up to his teammates to put that back down into the orange territory.
So follow-ups on both teams. Not a whole lot of pacing going on. Both the mistakes that Flipside have had on defense are the ones that resulted in Resonant goals. Either not having somebody back, but yeah, we see a lot of touches from both sides, but just kind of a clear playing the safe game. Those first game jitters, but with Resonant in the lead, they don't want to take any risks.
Nice stop there from a lot. It will go out to Cooks as he tries to set up another play. Solo play himself off the corner, trying to get an angle like Mets had on that touch out in front of the box. Greasy gets that to nobody. Magnus with a hard clear sends that deep down into Flipside end. Passing play upfield, Greasy. What a shot. Upside down, gets enough power to send it towards the net and on target. Will be stopped out by Mets in net there. Another one from Cooks. They try to ramp up a couple shots of their own. Greasy with the pressure. Markey, a little bit off on that. Maybe should have waited. He'll leave Cooks there alone in net as Magnus tries to set up a play himself. Off the corner to Mets. There's a lot with the pressure. Markey keeps that one low, but again, gives that one away. Once again, Resonant with another chance with a minute remaining. Don't really need many more chances. They just need to hold on to this lead. Game number 1 looking pretty in favor of Resonant at this point. Flipside not getting the most scoring opportunities that I'm sure they'd like.
I can't tell. It almost feels like Flipside are trying to slow the ball down just a bit too much, especially with the amount of contests that Resonant has been opposing to them. Watching Flipside slow down every time and then just getting 50-50'd into a weak position doesn't seem like their normal style of play.
30 seconds remaining now. Resonant Esports still sitting in the lead. At least a goal, not getting shut out in the first game will feel a little bit good. Bring the momentum into game number 2. Right now, Resonant isn't letting up at all. They're going to go ham right till the end. Cooks here might be able to find a shot. Nope, someone home. A lot is. Sends what deep down into Flipside's end. Again, Magnus with a second touch. No shot, no pass. That'll be 3 seconds left. And not enough time for Flipside to grab any goals. And that'll be Resonant grabbing game at number 1 against Flipside Tactics.
2-0.
Yes.
Flipside.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly, I mean, a lot of the meta, and it seems pretty simple and it seems pretty straightforward. A lot of the meta is wait for your opponents to get a touch and give you the ball. Just let them hit it, give away possession, take control of it, and pass to your teammates and move it down the field. I've seen a lot of contests that shouldn't be happening between, I think, both Markey and Cooks here when, I mean, surely it'll change, but both of them going for a couple of contests that they had no right going for, and they're just setting themselves out of the play. And it's giving Resonant a lot of chance to move back down the other end of the field. Magnus, a couple times, we're trying to read a lot of touches, and it's almost working out. Up above the backboard on Flipside's end, getting touches off some of those spider clears, and that's what's allowing Resonant to really stay dominant in this. Only 2-goal lead. Flipside can bring it back, but they didn't have a lot of chances, or at least not as many as I think they wanted.
There's a tactic we've seen Flipside use. That's why you gotta not do that to me, guys. I hate accidental puns. They've used all season, where essentially they go from defense to offense immediately, force their opponents to make a really weak touch on defense, and then just keep following that up with shots. Usually the second one goes in, but if not, the third usually will. Yeah. We didn't really see a lot of cherry picking on the side of Flipside very often. There was one okay touch, but then again, it was a good shot. It wasn't the best save that happened from their opponents, but no one followed up for the second shot. They're not getting that one more touch read. They're not trying to read each other by 1 or 2 plays. Flipside, slower than usual, but first game, you don't want to attribute too much, and this is a best of 7. Plenty of games left to play.
You're right, and again, we touched on it in the first one. We know Flipside can come back when they're down. That seems to be where they specialize. We'll see if that happens. Resonant grabbing game number 1. One of these teams are going to land. One of them are going home. Game number 2, we'll see if Resonant can extend their lead or Flipside's going to be able to bring this series back. We've already seen some Titans fall yesterday. G2 not making it in. Well, that happened to Flipside too. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there hoping not, but we have a lot of Resonant fans as well. They're in a good spot. Markey keeps this one low over a lot. A second one past Magnus. A good move upfield. Cooks here tries to get a shot. Mets just gets in the way. Great plays. Those are the things we like to see out of Flipside. Didn't quite pan out this time, but try again, and eventually it will. Greasy just trying to get at least some pressure on while his teammates move into position. A hard clear for Resonant. First minute gone by so far. No one scored. No early goal. Magnus is trying to change that, though. with a shot of his own. Markey does get in the way. Greasy was waiting for that to get past him. They got to watch out on defense there. Resonant starting to put some pressure on.
Resonant is really shutting down the flip side plays that we see. They're putting themselves between the players, not allowing the passes. And now Cook to your left, last man. Oh, Mets couldn't get the shot, but a lot will follow it to the post.
Hard spot for Cooks. Thought a shot was coming in. He does move that downfield, but quickly stolen away as likely have no boost to deal with that situation. A shot from an angle just wide there, almost connecting with the back of the net. There's a cherry pick shot forward. Not enough power to really create anything out of it. A lot will give that to Mets instead. He tries to give it back to a lot, but that's going to be in the hands of Greasy, who sends that one flying back down into Resonant's goal line. Markey trying to get another play as Cooks waits around that midfield. He moves up, but a little bit too up, and Magnus might find an open net almost just wide of the net to the left side. Markey stealing that away impatiently. Sends that back down a little bit into the Resonant side, not deep enough to create anything out of it. Lot will get boosted up, but back off as he knew Cooks here would be able to win that contest. Markey with the steal away. Greasy trying to get a pass to Cooks. He'll have to move in and try to set it up himself. Slow play, second touch, not quite a lot to move this the other way. The punish might be coming out here. Mets can't get enough power to get it past Markey. There's a turnaround though. Greasy finding the net, 2.5 minutes left. They grab the lead for the first time in the series.
This is what Resonant has been doing to flip side all game. Greasy Meister with the split-second decision making the moment he saw his teammate, Markey Duda, dropping that ball down. He turns around immediately, takes the long shot. They have the lead.
Greasy been doing some work for Flipside right now. I like to see it. And as a result, he gets a goal out of it. 2 minutes left. If they can hold off, they will tab the series. Resonant will be looking to answer here with an attack of their own off the kickoff. Miss there from Mets will go into the hands of Cooks here. Let's see if they can move this up the field. Infield passing to each other. We'll move that towards the net. That might be a goal. Cooks a little bit overshot on that. Mets will be able to push it to the corner.
Look at this turnaround from Resonant again. Immediately, two of them trying to pass the play back and forth, nearly backwards, moving it from defense to offense flawlessly.
Greasy off the backboard. Cooks won't be able to connect with that. Magnus easily sends that back down into Flipside's territory. Hard clear, ping pong now as Markey Doodle will probably do the same. He does. Beautiful touch off that corner. Finally into the hands of Cooks, but once again, throws possession away. Can he steal it back? No, Mets just a brick wall with the Octane. Beats out the Batmobile. There's Greasy now by himself, boosted up, a pass out to teammate. No, Cooks comes from the wrong angle. Markey maybe would have had a better shot, but they didn't have much time to make that decision. Final minute approaching. Flipside still has the lead, maybe extending it, just keeping that out of the net a lot. Makes an incredibly close save. Can they make an answer though? First goal still the only goal of this game, and Flipside owns it. There's that minute mark. Back down the other end, Flipside goes. Greasy trying to get a double tap himself, will be greeted by Magnus on that, or in the box there, sorry. Markey won't find a pass from Cooks. He'll back off. A turnaround now. Mets in a lot to set something up. Magnus on the far side. Can Mets do something with it? Too slow. Greasy to steal that one away. 30 seconds left just to keep this one goal lead alive. Flipside looking to do exactly that as an answer still looking to come up from Resonant. 20 seconds now. This could be it. A bump there on Markey, but it puts him right in position to defend against any other shots from Mets in a lot. A miss. Greasy stuffing this one out. 10 seconds left. Can they keep it alive? Rough spot. A lot might have a chance to put it in. He does. Greasy with a clutch save. Is it enough though? Magnus. Oh! Greasy! A based in net. Stops and dashes the dreams from Resonant, grabbing them a game. What an incredibly clutch play on the goal line from Greasy Meister.
Greasy getting there just in time. He could not have waited till the last second if he tried any harder. Resonant getting so close there at the end. Their pace right now, some of the fastest I've ever seen Resonant play. I don't know if I've ever seen them being able to turn around like that, just that quickly. The moment they're on defense, you'll see somebody slow the ball down, they'll contest it. And generally when that happens, I mean, take a look at this.
Watch this again. Hold your breath. Oh my goodness. Greasy Meister on the goal line. You saw that ball starting to light up. No explosion though, because Greasy, 2 saves on that clutch. He got a side flip rushing back to net to get the first one. And that's almost rough because he almost throws himself out of position and throws himself in his own net, but somehow recuperates. And that's why recovery is important, kids. Make sure you learn it. Gets back to make a second save to keep themselves alive. One goal would have tied that up, and that would have felt defeating to Flipside to give it up at the last second.
Now it is tied 1-1 in the series, but Flipside just won that game by a single goal, and it was a runaway goal. There was no one back on defense. They didn't even really outplay Resonant in many situations. Now when you look at the scenarios, Resonant, a team that was battling to make it here to the playoffs, Flipside, reigning world champions.
Yep.
The games are close. Resonant are bringing everything. I'm loving seeing how they're playing. I think they are seriously giving a really big shot at this. I mean, with the skill that we're seeing out of them right now, they are neck to neck with any top-tier player we're going to see here. And it's a matter of which team wants it more and who is going to bring their A game.
Well, we're going to find out game number 3. Resonant and Flipside are all tied up. Flipside barely hanging on to a win in that last game. Greasy Meister coming in clutch for his boys. Roster been together for quite some time now. Throughout the last season in this one. Well, it's showing. They're watching out for each other. Will it be enough, though, as Resonant trying to come in, disrupt the Beans. 30 seconds into early goal. Resonant holding off an early attack there. There's a shot. Cooks was a little bit off the net there for Lot. Put that a bit more to the short side. Would have been a lead there for Resonant. Fortunately for them, it was not. Flipside still holds off. Markey doesn't get a touch out past a lot, so he'll set up a play to himself. Just keeps it out of the hand of Cooks. All you got to do is pull those defenders out one by one slowly. That's what Resonant is doing, but they couldn't get that ball toward the center enough to really create anything out of it, and Flipside will be able to recuperate that defense.
Just look at Resonant contesting everything. They're so quick, and it's not just how quickly they can get up into the air, but it's where they're positioning themselves. They're making sure that they can read both their opponents and their teammates, knowing exactly where it's going to go. And there a lot, again, for another contest. There's Mets for another. I imagine Magnus will be here very shortly after that.
They're so fast, and look at that. When they realized he wasn't, both Watt and Met said, all right, we'll cover the spot. Incredible rotations from them. They know exactly where to be. I love to see that out of Resonant. Will it be enough, though? I mean, we're still scoreless. A minute and a half in, Greasy trying to change that story. Now there's some pressure starting to come out from Flipside. This could be the difference maker for them. Greasy centers that one off the backboard. Nice pass, but it will be met from Mets. As Cooks takes a pass from Markey now. Loses control, tries to give it back to Markey. He does beat out Magnus. One person left in net, but there's no third now for Flipside to take a shot. They exhausted all their resources in the corner. We'll have to back off, and that'll allow Resonant to make a charge down the other way. They don't really take advantage of that situation and what's been handed to them and end up back in their own end regardless.
No, yeah, Lot gave that up. He cleared it when he knew no one was following it up. Here he goes again. Hopefully he can follow this up. He does contest.
Whoa!
Here with a dunk in the net a lot.
He felt bad about giving away the other play and says, all right, guys, I'll make it up here. As you said, dunked off the roof of Cooks with a nice hard shot. No one's going to save that.
Cooks here contesting that. I think the only thing he could have done is try to at least jump, make sure you're behind the ball, knowing that someone's following through. But I honestly didn't think Allow would make it there as quickly as he did, and I imagine Cooks here felt the same.
Well, I mean, you got to expect that. We were just talking about it. All of these guys are getting to the contest, getting to these balls. Those 50-50s quick, but what an answer from Flipside. Cooks doesn't like the dunk that just happened to him and turns it around.
A bit of self-redemption here, outpacing a lot too. Really getting revenge on the player that scored him. No one back in net. Cooksier takes advantage. Tied up 1-1, series 1-1. It couldn't get closer.
Revenge feels good, and Cooks got exactly that. Flipside brings himself back into the game. 2.5 minutes left. Resonant gonna have to find another one quickly off the kickoff here. No pass from Metz, says Greasy. And we'll go back to the center, though, a lot. There's a third from Magnus. A shot. Markey on the goal line. Almost in the rough spot there to let that go in. If that was placed a little bit better, would have been a goal for Resonant. But they give it right over to Markey. He keeps that one out, still tied up 1-1. A counter-attack. Markey attacking that one. Also was Greasy. A little bit rough on the communication there. They'll have to back off the midfield. There's Matt. Someone with a shot. Finds the corner. Squeaks it between two rushing defenders back to net. But it's not enough for Flipside.
Markey contesting that to Magnus, getting an unfortunate pinch, and I don't know how Mets catch so much pace on that. Whew. He must have touched that with the perfect tip of his car, able to maintain nearly all of the momentum on that and just pointing it directly towards the net. An unfortunate pinch for Flipside, but again, no one back on defense.
You get the extra turbo boost pad. Give him some extra oomph to his shot there to allow Resonant to go up 2-1 with 1:30 left. And there's Greasy almost with an answer, a little bit wide of the net. Flipside starting to wake up though. We see them making quite effective plays. Getting a lot of shots, just a little bit wide on some of them. Cooks will send that right back down deep into the end that nobody is, and that's Resonant's end. They'll rush back to defense. Magnus gives that possession away. Cooks will steal that around him. He tries for the 50-50 quickly. Answered in the air by Cooks, sends that a little bit too wide. He tried to drop that down in front of the net. Didn't happen. 1 minute remaining now, and a goal yet to answer for Flipside. Resonant to hold off an attack from Flipside. Moves it back down into their end. Off the backboard, can't get another touch himself. He tried off the roof.
Oh.
Greasy reading that properly, just waits patiently on the goal line. Any further would have put that in his own net. Almost had a Bardowski there for Resonant, extending their lead with 40 seconds left. They're still in this game, Flipside is. We'll see if they can get a goal to tie it up. Cooks tries there a lot. Quickly meets that one, turns it around. 30 seconds there as we hit the final bit of time on the clock. Resonant doing everything to kind of just pad their lead here, get a cushion. They aren't successful in that. Cooks can't the pass. Greasy will answer that loft up in the air, so will Magnus. Greasy, the turnaround, has no one there to help him out at the midfield line. Flip has one more chance here to get anything started up, but they're not going to be able to get a touch. A lot. Draws out Marky Duda. Says, I'm just not going to touch it. Let's finish this game and go to the next one. Resonant is going to grab the win on that, so of course a lot will leave it.
Flipside only with 3 shots. Resonant with 5, and again, only 1 goal game. Low scoring. And in Leaf, I didn't want to say this. I didn't want to say it. I wanted to see how the series started to go. Flipside now down in the series. It's 2-1. If Resonant win the next 2, they move to LAN, which means we will have never had a returning champion to LAN.
Oh, wow.
If Flipside does
That's a lot on the weight or the shoulders of Flipside Tactics right now.
Right now, we have never had a returning champion to LAN.
You're right.
When iBet Power did not make it into Season 2 after winning Season 1, it was up to, no matter what, we had a new winner.
I mean, in a way, that's kind of cool because we have a lot of new talent showing up to the scene, coming in, and EU specifically, so close to each other.
Yeah.
The skill pool is just so huge right now that there's so many good players out there. And again, we talked about it yesterday. It's so sad to see some of these teams go. I want everyone to win.
Yeah.
I want everyone to be there, all my friends at LAN, but that's not the way it can be. Someone has to go home right now. Resonant looking to make that be Flipside Tactics.
Resonant is putting the muzzle on them right now. They are honestly shutting them down. They're doing such a good job of just being in the way constantly. No demos really coming out of both sides, but I just don't know if there's room. Usually Flipside, they like to blow some people up. They like to try and tilt.
Boom.
Tilt some heads, tilt some people, tilt some cars. But there just isn't any time or any room for it because every time they try and go for a play, every time they want to control the space of the field, someone from Resonant is right there in their face, just bodying it.
Well, game number 4 will spell either a tied series or a match point for Resonant to find themselves that last spot into LAN for Season 3 of the RLCS. Flipside really wants to win this one. Well, all of them, but especially this to make sure the pressure isn't on for that final game and put it into their favor. Flipside Tactics has to answer this, but a shot from a lot is going to put Resonant into the lead quickly in the first 30 seconds.
They've got the lead early on, and the shot from Alal, look at his patience. You know you're up against Cooks here, too. You know he's got the speed on it, and he placed it so well. I do not know how he had the accuracy for that. The way the ball was coming across the field, those are some of the hardest things to aim exactly where you need them because there's so much momentum you have to alter.
No, you're absolutely right. But a lot was able to do it. He's on point today, and a lot of times I say, I mean, he's been a player that a little inconsistent sometimes, but he's been showing up quite a bit recently. I'm trying not to say a lot every single time I say his name.
Hey, man, it's not your fault, it's his.
Come on, man. Why do you do this to us? Resonant, though, is grabbing that first goal in the first 30 seconds. Good start to game number 4. Flipside looking to answer, so close. Someone on the goal line will steal that one away. Markey won't be able to do anything really useful with this except just keep it on offense. Cooks might be able to, though. Greasy can't get that one past a lot. Defense holding out just strong enough from Resonant. Will it last, though, as some attacks start to come up from Flipside Tactics? It will. They'll move this one down to the other end of the field. As Flip still has unanswered that last goal. Not the best touch there. Coming up from Markey as he sets that one in front of his own net. That'll be a chance now for a passing play.
Oh!
Beautiful team play coming up from Resonant. A lot finds a teammate on the ground.
Absolutely clinical pass from a lot directly down to Metz, and with no hesitation, he jumps up for the shot. They are just pinning Flipside Tactics to their half. They're getting a hard clear, and they just know it's going to be a weak touch back. It was originally a clear out to Cooks here, who just kind of flopped it back at them, and then they gained control immediately, and then that beautiful play to seal the deal.
Turn it right around. Now they're in the lead, looking to put themselves at match point. They got 3 minutes left to do that and hold off any kind of attack from Flipside Tactics, though. Flipside has the time on their side, but they can't give away too much of it by dilly-dallying in their own end. As a lot tries to go in for another one. Cooks sends that deep into midfield, but they lose possession yet again. They really need to take control. Their fate is on the line right now. Cooks here can't get the read on a lot. He'll send that into Flipside's box. Cooks trying to tip that one over that midfielder there, Metz. Can't break out of their own end. Cooks will finally have a chance. Just booms that one to the corner. Shot from him, no passing play. Markey was there, maybe would have been the better option. You'd have 2 defenders ready for a straight shot. That's exactly what they did, is save that straight shot. Now 2.5 minutes. Cooks trying to get the first answer, still being shut out. We saw this happen in game number 1. Resonant grabbed the 2-0 scoreline against Flipside Tactics. Might be happening again. We'll send them a match point. Almost trying to get a snipe shot there. It's going fast, not on target. Coming up from Flipside. Metz off the backboard, a double tap. That's how you do it. That's how you extend the lead. Metz isn't playing any of Flipside's games. They're trying to take the win.
Resonant in absolute control. You saw Cooks here at least kind of try to go up for it, but again, no one on that backboard. We've seen it all season. Every time it goes off the backboard and no one's there to answer it, it's either a massive threat or just straight up a goal. And there it is, an unanswered backboard touch, and Metz will carry it through. Oh, Greasy wasn't able to put that on target.
Just off the post, so close, but they need a goal now. 3 goals down with 2 minutes left. We're starting to hit crunch time. They'll still be alive if they lose this. They will be at match point to going home, as Resonant will have a 3-1 scoreline in the series. Flipside needs to make some goals now. Start to get some momentum, not looking too hot for them. As right now, Resonant dominating the field with speed and precision. Matt's playing this one slow, just getting a little bit of a weird touch to get himself back on the wall and take control. That was actually a great play from him.
That was insane!
And it turns it around.
No way!
Metz off the wall to start everything off.
What Resonant is this? From that play on Metz and Aris on the wall and then dropping it down, just completely eliminating Greasy from that play, just making him a moot point. Like, now, Greasy, you want to interrupt this? I'm not going to let you because I'm one step ahead of you. I'm one step ahead of your whole team.
Do you realize who we are? We're Resonant Esports, the Kingslayers, as with 1 minute left and 4 goals up, they're looking to set themselves at match point right now. It's looking like it might happen. Cooks here. Greasy Meiser and Markey Duda are going to have to make some answers coming into the rest of the series. They're still alive, but the situation is dire. 50 seconds left now as they try to make an attack. They have to give it their all, and Greasy starts this climb right now. 1 goal, 3 more to go, but at least a goal and no shutout.
I mean, just using this season's statistics, I think Markey Duda had a 17-second hat trick or something this season. So if there's any team that can pull it off, it's going to be this one. But right now, Resonant has been so strong on this pitch. I don't think it's going to be possible this game.
A touch there from Greasy, sets it up for Cooks. Tries to take the shot. Markey will have to clean up the mess that happened out of that play. Metz with the intercept here, 30 seconds remaining, and Flipside isn't really gaining any kind of the footing that they needed to really start to mark this comeback. Resonant looking to grab game number 4, set themselves at match point for a game number 5. I know Gibbs called it in game number 5, but it might have gone the other way than he predicted. Has the desk commentated cursed everything? We'll find out coming in the next game, because right now with 7 seconds left, Resonant Esports setting themselves at match point. This could be it for Flipside Tactics.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a second. Let's just take a breather, guys.
And realize the words that just came out of our mouths.
Resonant Esports. Resonant Esports is 1 game away from knocking Flipside Tactics out of LAN contention. They beat them 2 weeks ago in an upset. And you know, you can call excuses for that and say, you know what, Flipside probably didn't care about that game. And I stand by that. I'm pretty sure Flipside, they were kind of just relieved to be in a place where they were at playoffs at the time, right?
My brain's trying to compute this, and it's difficult.
If Flipside don't win this game, they're done. We will have lost G2 in North America yesterday, and we will lose the reigning world champions, Flipside Tactics. They are against the wall.
Resonant Esports is looking so strong in the field. They came out fast, they came out aggressive, and we see this when teams need to step up, it comes to the regionals. They're doing it. But right now, it's up to Flipside to do exactly that. G2 started to really step it up, but it was a little bit too late near the end of the series. Flipside, we know that they can come from the bottom and make it to the top. We've seen that happen before. Can they do it right now? It's looking rough for them because Resonant, I'm sure, is not ready to just turn over and give the series away.
They've had full control of the entire series. If you just watch it, how they are positioning, they're always trying to read both Flipside and their teammates, and they're always one step ahead, where Flipside just seems to be only worrying about each other. They try and pass it up. Let's say Marky tries to pass it up to Greasy, but they're not thinking about Resonant. And then someone from Resonant's always there, outpacing them, gets in the way. Not only were they reading the pass from Flipside, but they were also reading their teammates, like being able to intercept it and getting ready for that. Starting this game, could this be it for Flipside Tactics? Will they be done for the season?
Game number 5, match point for Resonant Esports. Flipside Tactics facing elimination from Season 3. 1 spot left for LAN, and Resonance ready to grab this. In this best of 7, they're sitting up 3-1. As they try to set an early attack, Flipside has to put everything into this game. It is do or die. Here could be a shot from Mark. He tries to find the top corner. Inaccuracy will be a missed shot. Cooks here up quick. A drop down into the net. And they're going to start it off on the right foot. Flipside with a passing play to grab the first goal.
Starting it off nice and quick. Greasy up to Cooks here. Passing that we've seen all season, and there it is. There's the pacing from Cooks here. Reading Greasy even before he got the touch, understanding where he probably need to be, and the placement of Cooks here has been phenomenal pretty much ever since he started playing this game.
We'll see if they can grab another one off the kickoff. They're trying to. Cooks at least gets a touch. Greasy's going to back off to make sure he's not in the way of Marky and Cooks as they make their way onto another play on offense there in the Resonant end. Resonant has to watch out because when Flipside's angry, they'll make a statement. Resonant has to make sure they don't give in, and they turn it around. They're not going to give in. They're going to play their game, and a quick answer comes back.
This contest right here from Magnus, waiting perfectly for the front flip. That was all on him. He knew someone was dropping in, waited for the front flip, and then a lot. Putting Cooks here in his place, keeping him down, saying, I've got this, I'm going to outpace you. This is incredible.
They're so fast right now. Cooks had no chance to beat a lot to that one. And he gets up to the top, put one in. Off the sideboard, he might be able to find another. Cooks says, not this time, Mets. My turn to turn it around. Magnus is going to steal that one in from Cooks. Marky, Greasy looking to move up the field, but there is a lot ready to greet it on the wall. Predicting every single touch from Flipside. Able to keep them stuck down on their own end in defense. Pass from Cooks to Greasy goes a little bit too far. Greasy. Now drop in front of the net though. Mets, you got to watch out. That'll be a shot stopped and forced out of the net by a lot. On target. Cooks is starting to get these shots where they need to be, but a defense strong from Resonant is keeping them at bay. Almost a second touch from a lot there. He tried to get the chip towards the net. Mets will put it on though. Cooks can't give it out. And Mets finds the dirtiest of angles.
They are playing exactly the way they need to against Flipside Tactics. Mets getting the second touch. Honestly, both Cooks here and Marky just let him. They knew he was going to get it, but they did not expect a shot from the angle just under the crossbar. And Cooks here again left on the ground in the net.
Resonant in the lead and at match point. 3 minutes left. Enough time for Flipside to mark a comeback. But also enough time for Resonant to extend their lead. Magnus around one defender left, gets it to Metzinaris. A lot to bring up the rear. Flipside still stuck on their own end. Cooks to play it slow, allow his teammates to get in there, tries to read one off of Magnus, can't get it. A pass up front, no third in though. That'll be the ball in the hands of Marky Duda. A pass to Greasy, a shot to the far side on target. Great passing play, but also a great save from Mets to keep that one out. They're still in the lead, 2.5 minutes left. Flipside Tactics facing elimination from Season 3. If they do not get a goal, they're stuck in their own end now, giving a lot of space to a lot. Be able to take a shot. Greasy with a contest of his own. He's been pretty on fire today. The whole team's cohesion together hasn't been enough to match up against Resonant. They move that back down towards Flipside's end. Flipside trying to move that back to midfield. And there, once again, is someone from Resonant getting in the way, stopping any kind of advance from Flipside Tactics.
Flipside not potentially following up, but there it is!
Boom! And in even our 2 minutes left, we started to see them come out at the beginning of the game, and now we're seeing them connect.
Just when it looks like they're not looking for each other, they bring this out. A beautiful 1-2-3, nearly right angle passes from each of them, straight into net, tying it up. Flipside Tactics, even if they take this game though, remember, they have to win 3 games in a row from this point on.
That is a lot of weight to bear on your shoulders. But again, we talked about it, Flipside has been in dire situations before, and they've come back from it. But can they do it against Resonant? Resonant has been on fire for this series. Holding Flipside to match point. A demo there will give a bit of space, but not enough control on the hood of his car. Will give Greasy a contest. Marky with another one, a chance for Greasy. Now Cooks puts it to the short side. A lot. Does keep that one away. A shot on net. It's gonna squeak in. The defender can't stop it. Flipside grabs the lead.
Trying to get a little bit of vengeance for that tight corner shot. Marky Duda taking it from the wall. Perfectly to the corner a lot. Actually, still got a touch on it, but wasn't enough now. 1 goal up. Can Flipside keep this lead, or will we see them say goodbye to the RLCS?
Off the backboard, that will get stopped by Metzinaris on the kickoff. Flipside looking for another one. 1 goal lead is not enough, but they got to make sure they don't commit too much to some crazy plays and give another chance for Resonant to grab an evener. As they're only 1 goal down, 1 minute remaining now for Flipside to hold on to this lead. Resonant looking to end things now. If they can get 1 goal and at least bring it to overtime, or maybe 2 goals in the last minute of gameplay. As they move back onto offense, Greasy, Meiser, and Marky looking to make a move forward. That'll go to the hands of a lot. Marky waiting on the goal line. Good patience, good communication. They try to move that forward out of the corner. No one home. Marky will try to set that up for Greasy. Magnus trying to get in his way. He'll grab some boost. This could be a chance as Marky Duda's with him. Gets it over to him. A shot! Passing play. They're looking for each other. Flipside is ready to do this.
You know, on the test, they talked about how strong Greasy Meister's been for this team. And take a look at this dribble. Pulling Magnus out and then just giving Marky Duda a nice silver platter. Here you go, dude. You can't miss this, Marky. And he does it now. 2 goals up. They're looking to take this game.
Flipside Tactics up 2 goals, as you just said, with 30 seconds left. They can still flub this. They have to stay on point. Flipside Tactics have every chance to give it away, but not if they start playing like this. Just a little bit short on the shot, hitting the post. That'll still go in front of the net. Scary spot there for Resonant. I mean, they're already down 2 goals, but Flipside might be starting to steamroll. There's a shot. A lot will save this one. Unlike the other, a pass out to nobody. Greasy tries to catch it from the flank. Cooks here will send that deep in with 5 seconds left. They're going to grab another one, keep themselves alive. And Flipside Tactics stays in this. Resonant so close, still at match point though.
3 wins to 2 right now. Flipside Tactics, they need to win the next 2 games, which means they not only need to find a way to beat Resonant, they need to break them. They need to stop them from doing everything they've been doing this series. All the amazing stuff we've seen out of Resonant, which I'm not going to lie, has been some of the best Rocket League I've seen so far in these last 2 days. The way Resonant has been playing is phenomenal. Flipside Tactics, though, we've talked about it. They do well under pressure, man. It's like they do it on purpose.
Just put yourself in a really tough situation, and, well, it works out for Flipside Tactics. They just grabbed it 4-2 at match point. Resonant was so close to being able to hold off and just eliminate the previous world champions from the RLCS. Flipside stays in this in incredible fashion. They're connecting with passes. Almost every single one of those goals in this last game was a fast passing play, moving from their own end onto offense. This is a team that's awake, and as Resonant, that's actually starting to be scary. That is a scary sight to see when these guys move upfield together. They have a chance, though. They have 2 games. As you said, 2 chances now to be able to stop these plays and stop the play style that Flipside just picked up.
Flipside may have won that game, but they haven't removed the threat. The threat that is Resonant is now a single win away from knocking Flipside Tactics out of the playoffs here in round number 1. Resonant, I want to know whatever they took these last 2 weeks, whatever they ate, whatever they were drinking, because this is the Rocket League I love to see. In round 1 of the playoffs to boot, I can't even talk, Leaf.
I saw your tweet. Did you take your medication? Will your heart be okay?
I don't know.
Are you going to explode on me here?
I blacked out a little earlier.
Game number 6. If Flipside wants to win this series, they will see it in a game at number 7. Resonant has every chance to knock the reigning world champions out in this game right here, right now. If they can take the win, Flipside looking to make a momentous climb back. 1 game away from having it be a reverse sweep on a Resonant. Resonant trying to make an early attack. We'll see game number 6 if this spells the end of the series, or if we'll see a game number 7. Marky will keep that away, but a lot will greet that one quickly. A lot of speed still from Resonant. Not ready to turn over yet. Flipside on their own end, stopping off an early attack from Resonant. See if they can create a play out of it, though. A lot of just ping pong back and forth while one of these teams try to get possession. Flipside trying to break out and Resonant trying to score. Marky not the touch maybe he was looking for. We'll try to get that over to Greasy. He'll be up quickly. The speed now. These guys are getting to the ball quickly. Cooks to back off and allow Marky to move in instead. Good back pass there from Magnus. A lot couldn't read it properly. Right idea on the play. Marky out of the play now as Cook sends one toward the net. Mets getting 50-50 by Greasy. Sets it in front of the net, Marky. A little bit off on that one. A lot just trying to keep the play alive. No team setting up any real play yet. 3:30 in this potentially last match as Flipside will grab the first goal. Greasy finding no one home. Will say, hey, let me put this away.
Mets got a little too cheeky, wanted to come up and grab that boost pad. I don't blame him, but then he kept also going for the corner, thinking he was safe for that shot, but being contested by Greasy Meister, he honestly is doing so well for his team right now. I'm sure Marky and Cooksey are pretty happy he's there.
Oh, yeah, dude, Greasy has just been going off this entire, from game number 1. And now his teammates are waking up too. With a minute and a half past, Flipside sits up 1-0, only 1 goal. We've seen him hold off before. 2 goals, that makes it a little better. For Flipside Tactics, Resonant starting to allow Flipside to mount this comeback.
From Cooksey last week being uncharacteristically
I like that one.
Now,
uncharacteristic.
I don't like it. From him whiffing balls last week, which we'd almost never seen before, now there he is again, above the net, the patented drops, which he's just pretty much made his own thing.
3-2 still in the series. Resonant, if they can grab 3 goals, will have themselves a win and a land spot. Flipside, 3 games in a row they need. They've done number 1. They might grab number 2 now as we approach the halfway mark of game 6 in this best of 7. A shot there, just a little bit high off the crossbar. Resonant trying to make an answer back. Still shut out at this point. Flipside making some awesome moves now. They got to make sure they don't slow down, though. They can't just give up and say, well, it's over, because it's not. Confusion in the corner. Cooks to nobody. It should be a Resonant player taking control of this. A lot recognizing the situation. Gets up for the 50-50, but so does Greasy. Marky there for the contest. Drops that into the box of Resonant. A turnaround, counter-attack. Not going to connect with a lot as Magnus tries to set that play up. Mets will try again from midfield. Flipside Tactics on defense. Oh, the demo almost coming in clutch as a lot tries to take out one of the defenders. Marky moving into place, though. Will stop that attack. 2 minutes left. Flipside still 2 goals into the lead. Resonant still having difficulty trying to find an answer. They're doing everything they can, though. Starting to come out with the physical plays. I like to see it. They're trying to utilize every single option they have at their hand.
Cooks here really trying to take defense into his own hands. He's there for everything. Even some stuff he probably shouldn't follow through for, so I'm a little worried about that. One tiny mistake could leave a goal for Resonant, but at the moment, he's been an absolute monster on defense.
Cooks here, past to Markey, a missed shot. That'll go high in the air. A lot just getting up there for a contest. Doesn't matter that no one was there. That's what they're doing best right now, is making sure someone is at the ball. Someone is ready there to make a contest.
Mets!
What a shot, but it's just wide. Bouncing off 2 posts and the bottom goal line. Not going to drop in. Flipside shaking on that one, almost giving away a goal, but they would have still been ahead. 1 minute remaining. Resonant making moves, but it might be too late as Flipside still holds the lead by 2 goals.
Oh, can Resonant keep this aggression up? It looks like finally Flipside has figured out what it takes to slow this Resonant team down. They are trying to finally outpace them, get up quick and predict each other, and we're not seeing the Resonant plays that we were seeing in the first few games.
Well, they're getting outpaced now by Flipside, or paced up by Flipside. Flipside is starting to get up for those contests themselves. They're starting to say, hey, we need to read the touches that Resonant's going for, not just give them those touches, and it's working out for them. 30 seconds left. Just kept out there, Greasy. Upside down, a little spinneroonie. Puts that one away with 20 seconds left. Flipside looking to secure game number 6.
That initial mistake, Alot and Magnus both going up for it, so neither were able to place it to the corner. When you're going to make a defensive save like that, you need to push it off to the side. You do not want to drop it in front because then you run into situations where you let someone like Greasy Meister take a shot on you and none of you can predict it.
16 seconds remaining now. In game number 6, we're looking like we're going to go to game number 7 as Resonant Esports won't be able to answer 3 goals in 10 seconds. Flipside Tactics was at match point last game. They're at match point this game, and they're still going to be at match point next game, but so is Resonant Esports. Game number 7, could this have gone any other way?
No. No, it couldn't have, Leaf.
Nope.
Nope. Game number 7, Flipside Tactics. I mean, I guess we should have known since they love to put themselves in the lower bracket at LAN anyways. This is their specialty. This is their equivalent of putting themselves in the lower bracket, right? Like, let's just, win 1 game, lose 3 in a row.
Let's ruin. You know what? It just makes for. They're doing it for the viewers. They're doing it for you.
It's for you guys.
It's
we
for
want to
you.
keep it exciting. It's a good thing I took my medication.
Makes everything. Yeah, I'm glad you did. Otherwise, it would. My throat could barely handle this.
Yeah.
Can you imagine by myself? I'd miss you. But Flipside Tactics about to make us miss Resonant if they can take this next game. Game number 7. As Resonant still at match point, they can still do this. But Flipside has made some changes. And Resonant has yet to answer that.
They made all the changes they need, and it really feels like Cooks here is really being that defensive monolith. He is just sitting there. He's constantly going back. Even a few times it looks like Greasy's got a touch. Cooks here, just to be safe, is going up for it. It's one of the few decisions I'm not a big fan of. Either he needs to call off his teammate and just say, don't worry, I'm just going to go for 80% of the saves. I got this. I'm always going to make sure I have boost. Or needs to let his teammates go up for that. It's one of the few mistakes I saw on the side of Flipside. But Resonant now, since they're getting outpaced, they don't have the control. They can't read the pitch as well. They don't have the time to read their opponents and themselves. The entire pitch has flip-flop now, like a big old seesaw. The weight is now on the other side. Flipside Tactics has the momentum to take this. Will we see them go to LAN, or will Resonant knock them out?
Game number 7, Flipside Tactics, Resonant Esports, 1 spot left to go to LAN. We'll see who's going to take it right here. As an early attack for Resonant, they want that first goal, set themselves on the right foot. Not going to happen, says Flipside Tactics. Going to get goosebumps from this one. Resonant stuck back on defense as a play comes out from Flipside off the backboard. No finish from Markey, too much downward momentum, not enough boost to bring himself back up. There's a turnaround attack. Mets might have a chance. He's waiting for it to drop. Didn't get up to that one quick, uncharacteristic of Resonant. We've seen them get up to that ball very quickly, maybe out of boost. They'll have to leave that play alone and try again. Rocket down the other end, a pass off the backboard. There's Magnus trying for the read, the touch off the defender there. Greasy to move it back the other way. Takes this one slow, tries to take it on the ground against Mets. He ain't having any of that, but Cook's there to bring up the rear. Markey for a 3rd touch. We'll send that one above the box on Resonant's end. Resonant keeps that one away. Greasy, a touch a little bit too far in front of the net. That will be sent back by Cooks. Not enough, though. Markey, risky contest there. Could have been sent back to their own end. Greasy might have been a little bit too late if he tried to rush back. Cooks off the wall, will send it past a lot. Nice hard shot to midfield. No one there on his team though to greet it. Magnus will be able to keep a bit of pressure on at midfield. Hopefully allowing Resonant to grab a goal. Minute and a half pass. No one scored so far. Game number 7, everything on the line. How appropriate would be to hit overtime too.
Almost 2 minutes in, not a single goal, and only one shot apiece. Right now, these teams are doing everything they can to stifle each other's offense. The best offense, or the best defense, I should say, is to make sure that no shots come on your net.
Think about the nerves on all these players right now. One single goal can spell their demise or their ticket to land for season 3. And Magnus trying to write the ticket for all of his teammates there as he takes one off the wall. No finish as the defense from Flipside is able to stop that one. No tricks from you a lot. Magnus off the backboard to nobody but himself. There's 2 defenders committing to that one. Might be a scary spot. Cooks left alone. We'll flick that one to the side. Nice placement on the save. We'll keep that one to the side for Markey. That's going to be a shot to the net. Magnus forced to save this one. Greasy isn't able to get enough power on that one to get to the ball. Back to midfield it goes. Resonant trying to create an attack themselves. A 50-50 out to a lot. A lot had Magnus, but he's alone. A flick off the top bar. Sorry, what?
What? The own goal from Cooks here. This is what I was scared of. 2 people going for this. The flick from a lot beating out Greasy, and Cooks here and Marky Duda both going for it. Neither from the net. Will the own goal be what sends Flipside Tactics out of land contention?
That would be such a way to go out. They expect the speed from Resonant, so they're trying to block everything, and in result, they get an own goal. 2 minutes left now for Flipside to be able to pull back 1 goal at least to bring this back to a tie game. They've been looking pretty solid still in this series. Resonant just has to do everything to keep them out of their box, keep these plays from Flipside from even developing. Keep the pressure on at midfield. There's a contest. A lot will back off. Noticing Cooks here had the play. Doesn't get to that in time. A pass to Greasy. Cooks will be up for that one. Markey will wait for that play to be pushed to the corner there. He'll be out of that one. Mets getting a demo. Will buy his team enough time to get back on offense. Will be able to create a play. Not quite. Collecting themselves on defense. Flipside Tactics moving the other way. Boost grab there. Losing the contest a lot. We'll send it to the corner. Cooks off the wall. A straight shot himself. Forcing both defenders up for that, but they do get a hard enough clear to stop Flipside Tactics from even getting another play off of that. A minute 13 left. Flipside Tactics still down 1 goal. We're in game number 7. There is no coming back from this. 1 goal separates the previous world champions from making it into the land for season 3. That could be one just off the crossbar. Marky Duda to Cooks off the backboard. Greasy up for a shot. Lofts that one down. He gets another touch. They put it in.
Greasy Meister putting the team on his back, getting the second touch to tie it up. Cooks here reading that. Cannot believe Greasy was able to get that. And Marky Duda reading his teammates tied up. 53 seconds left.
The clutchest of all plays from Flipside Tactics. These are the gods we know. We'll see if it'll pull it off. They try to get a kickoff goal. 50 seconds left. 1 goal can spell a winner here between Resonant and Flipside Tactics. As we come down to that final hustle of gameplay, Resonant trying to set it up. Be the ones. A miss there from Magnus could be destructive to them as it goes off the backboard. Cooks is ready for a touch, but it's going to go wide to the corner. Markey tries to set it up for Marky Duda in front of the net. No one there to receive the pass. These guys are firing on all cylinders. Resonant has to watch out. They need some plays of their own. 20 seconds left. And Resonant trying to set up a play of their own. A pinch over across midfield. Markey will get the touch. No, he misses that one. Magnus will move it forward. There's Cooks to send that back into the Resonant end. 7 seconds left now. Still tied up. Greasy to Marky Duda. Puts one on just a little bit high. Greasy has a chance. Cooks here. Go put it on target a lot with the clutch is safe. Back the other way. Markey has to watch out. We hit overtime. 1 goal will spell a winner into land.
The next goal makes it. Who's in land? Flipside Tactics or Resonant take down the Kings and ruin chances for the reigning world champions.
This could have gone no other way. As Flipside tries to create the attack off that kickoff, get the momentum. Watch out, Cooks here, the blast defender. No one else home on Flipside Tactics. Resonant trying to create an attack to Cooks here. Down to nobody. There will be the possession in the hands of Resonant. Metzenaris plays that slow under, probably out of boost, just trying to psych out Greasy. Magnus will take control. He also got the boost and air dribble off the roof. Cookser has to be super careful there. Was the last defender again. There's a pop up to nobody but Metz. Push to the side, 40 seconds now into overtime. Markey, Greasy, Cooks looking for that attack. We know they can do it. Resonant knows they can too and need to be careful. Too many people committed, could spell an open goal. Resonant trying to find that one there with a long shot, will get stopped out. Off the backboard, Magnus, the spider touch. Markey in front of the net, Greasy a little bit too far forward, almost a chance there, almost a mistake for Resonant. Cooks by himself in the corner in front of the net, Markey can't get that to him. Greasy has to be careful. 2 attackers from Resonant attacking his end of the net with him being alone. A minute 15 into overtime now. Metz! What a save from Markey Duda to keep that out. Resonant not ready to give it the play yet. We'll put another one on Magnus. In front of the net, Greasy Meister keeps that to the corner to play it slow. A minute 30 into this, and I honestly can't take this. I'm gonna blow up right now.
We will blow up together.
We will blow up together, and I'm sure the chat will too. Magnus with a shot on net.
Magnus!
We'll keep that to the side. Resonant creating a lot of attacks of their own. Flipside needs to be careful.
All
Shot
3
from
Flipside
Metz.
players, they're playing too safe. Can they risk that? Can they afford to play the safe game, or do they need to take the risk on offense? The decision I would never want to make right now.
Cooks here will follow this one up. Can he get a play to a teammate in front of the net? But there's a waiting defender a lot. Metz is waiting carefully. Their hands are probably shaking, sweating. This will be a scary spot for both these teams. 1 goal will give one of these teams a land spot. Off the backboard, Cooks will be there to greet it. A shot towards the net a lot. Look at the precision from Cooks here, but the saves coming out now from Resonant Esports. Cooks here, a shot to net. Will he be able to get the dunk here? No, he'll be a little bit too off from that. Markey will keep the dream alive. Cooks with a shot on net! Flipside Tactics, your reigning world champions, secure themselves a spot into Season 3 land.
2 minutes and 30 seconds into overtime. Markey Duda to Cooks here. What a way to end it. 7 games in, 2 minutes and 30 seconds into overtime. Resonant brought the best Resonant we've seen all season for them. They played their hearts out. It hurts to watch them go. They almost knocked out the reigning world champions, but Flipside will go to land.
Resonant has to be proud of this accomplishment. Overtime, game number 7. Flipside Tactics did exactly what we needed. Let's go to that game winner from Cooks here. What an incredible, he was the one that scored them the game winner for their titles of Season 2 champions, and now gets himself into a spot, Season 3, RLCS.
After the own goal, if he lost this series after an own goal,
he would have been shooting himself.
he would have been done. That could have been it.
Oh my goodness.
He was the first goal of the last game on his own net, and the last goal to seal the deal. Flipside Tactics never cease to put on a fantastic show for us here at the RLCS.
Flipside Tactics, your reigning world champions, looking to do it again in Season 3 as they secure themselves a spot to land. Let's go back to the desk so me and Carpet can just blow up.
Wow. Thank you, Leaf and Findable Carpet. We're still catching our breaths here. I have not seen anything like that. Absolutely astounded. What a series. Flipside Tactics, down 1-3, on the verge of not going to land, having to come back, tie it up, all the way to Game 7. Cooks here with the own goal, putting Resonant up in Game 7, and then somehow, someway, Flipside Tactics able to emerge victorious, and they will be the last European team advancing to the World Championships. Congrats to them, guys. Reactions.
Heartbreak for Resonant, up 3-1. With a lot, the Kingslayer from last season as well. He would have been 3-0 versus Flipside, missing out. The Metz and Mog, look, the new kids on the block, missing it by just 1 touch, basically.
1 touch, but that was the most edge-of-your-seat, exciting series of Rocket League I have ever seen in my life. That was incredible. And Greasy, somebody go buy that man a triple scoop of ice cream, because he was, in my opinion, the difference maker for Flipside. That goal or save in the final seconds where he kept that out and kept Flipside in it. I am speechless. That was an amazing series.
I'm right there with you. Let's recap this and check out the Mobile One high-performance replay. Flipside Tactics with the 4-3 victory in overtime in Game 7. Here's how it happened.
And Resonant's defense not allowing shots from Flipside. Early on, Flipside was getting some shots on that, but then games 3 and 4, only 3 shots from Flipside in games 3, and then I believe it was game 5 as well. But the defense from Resonant, the pressure that they were putting on Flipside was just incredible, and every double touch, Metz was hitting every single time for a pass or whatever, and then Magnus coming in huge too, a lot with the dunk over Cooks here. So many highlights here.
And then Greasy, his passing, his everything today. Greasy, he stepped up incredibly huge for Flipside. He played well, or the best for Flipside when Resonant played in week 5, and again steps up. 5 goals, 5 assists, scoring almost half the goals and assists for Flipside. But then that overtime goal by Cookser. Cookser, you can put all of the pressure on this man. He might be shaking and trembling, but he will still come through. He got the game-winning shot in the World Championship in overtime, and again, he punches their ticket to Los Angeles. What a shot by Cooks in overtime.
And honestly, he didn't look great this series at all, and then the own goal in Game 7, I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on here? But when it matters the most, somehow Flipside does it every single time.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, you know what? Somehow, some way, this is going to come down to Cooks here. And scoring that overtime winning goal, I can't imagine how Flipside reacted after getting that goal and securing their spot in the World Championships. But certainly a series for the history books there. Absolutely, without a doubt. Congratulations. You just watched one of the best Rocket League series we have ever seen, not only in the RLCS, but anywhere, anytime, anywhere. So what a series. Let's pull up the bracket here to keep you guys updated on what's going on. This is still the beginning of the day, believe it or not. Buckle your seatbelts, go get some more popcorn, go get some more brisk, go get a Slurpee from 7-Eleven because we got plenty more matches coming your way. Gale Force falling to Mocket. Mocket advancing on to play Northern Gaming. That's going to be the next match you're going to see on stream. Flipside Tactics, 4-3, just barely. Taking out Resonant, which we just saw. They're going up against the leftovers. 4 teams left in the regional championship. Still got to find out who's going to auto-qualify for next season, who's going to emerge as champion of the European region, and of course seeding for the World Championships.
But the World Championship curse has been broken. Flipside Tactics will return. We have all 4 tickets punched for Europe, all 4 for NA. Now we just wait on the 2 from OCE.
Yeah, and then again, like you said, Axel Toss, 2 Season 4 spots on the line as well, and these 2 upper finals. So there's still quite a bit to play for. We've seen how some teams handle the pressure of the qualifiers and don't perform, like Iris this season in North America. So auto qualification, still a lot of incentive for these players to play for.
All right, well, let's keep the day going. You're watching the European Regional Championships. Coming up next, we have another Titan from Europe coming to the pitch. It's Northern Gaming, oozing with history. Seems like they're on every main stage. This is one of the best teams in the world. Going up against Mocket in your first semifinal of the Regional Championships. We'll be right back here on twitch.tv/Rocket League.